What's up, guys? Welcome back to another Sport Universe Reacts. Look at that walking. You want to see it again? I'll show you again. Amazing, right? Did you see that? I did that. Okay, so what we're reacting to today. I don't know how to stand. I want to see if standing makes more sense. Probably not. Just looks awkward. So we're gonna go like this. I'm gonna sit down. Okay. What's up, guys? Welcome back to another React. So, what are we reacting to today? Good question. Okay, so, there we go. Oh, okay, that's pretty good, right there. Okay. So, I really wish I could do a react on the Anthony Joshua fight and any Ruiz fight, obviously, but I don't know enough about boxing to give, I think, a good reaction video to it and actually give out information that you guys want to hear. So, we're going to be talking about Nationals free agency. It might seem a little random, but it'll make sense. So obviously, Anthony Rendon and Steven Strasburg are both free agents this, you want to call it, winter, whatever you want to call it, this free agency period. And it's kind of turned into a little issue about what the Nationals should really do, who provides the most for the Nationals. So I kind of mentioned this after the Nationals won the World Series, that I'm not really worried about the Nationals actually being a good team next summer. I mean, whatever. They're not, I don't feel like they're going to really, obviously after you win a World Series, you think that team's going to be there for a while and is going to be kind of, not a dynasty, but always in contention. And I think for the Nationals, with who they're losing, possibly Anthony Rendon and Steven Strasburg, those are their two stars on the team. Obviously, there's other players, but I think everything combined for them at the right moment, I don't really see them as a big contender for next season. So from that, what I think they should do. Both Steven Strasburg and Anthony Rendon are going to get some crazy types of deals. For Anthony Rendon, they're saying similar to a Nolan Arenado deal where he got 7 years, $260 million. And for Steven Strasburg, he declined his $100 million guaranteed that he was going to get if he played this season for the Nationals. So you can just expect that he expects to get a lot of money, and a lot of people also expect that he's going to get a lot of money. So if I was the Nationals GM, what would I do? Good question. Again, there's two ways to think about it. One, you go for it again, and you go for another World Series. Or two, you start over. And, I mean, I guess it's not really starting over, but let me explain. If you go for it again, I don't see them signing both. That's a crazy amount of money to give for two players. Maybe that's where the MLB's going now, just like using crazy amounts of money, but I don't see them signing two players, and I don't think that's right. So going for it again either looks like signing Steven Strasburg or Anthony Rendon. If I was the Nationals, I would sign, this is where it gets tricky. I was waiting to make this video for my decision to come out of my brain, and it's not there right now, so let me ponder some things. Steven Strasburg, for a long time, has shown a lot of elite pitching, and for the most part, that's hard to come by in baseball. Anthony Rendon, for a while, was this guy. They had Bryce Harper, and he was always the star, and Anthony Rendon always played really well, and I think he definitely went under the radar with Bryce Harper and the other players that they had on the Nationals. And I think he finally had his, breakout season this year. If I was the Nationals, I think I would go for Steven Strasburg, sign him, let Anthony Rendon go. There's a few reasons. Steven Strasburg, year after year, has played really well, and that's Anthony Rendon too, but yeah, I'm kind of going against my beliefs about this stuff. I always thought that the Mets did it wrong when they base their whole rebuild around pitching, and it should have been about hitters. But I think it's not, in this scenario, it's not a rebuild for the Nationals, so I guess that changes things. So I think Steven Strasburg, still sign him. In the league, pitching's hard to come by, and I know injuries and stuff like that, after a while, damn, that's hard. Okay, let me start with Anthony Rendon. The reason that I'm not sold on Anthony Rendon is that this was his real breakout year, and compared to Steven Strasburg, Strasburg's doing great every season. Anthony Rendon had a great season this year, and he was MVP caliber. I think he should have won. But wait, did Anthony Rendon win MVP? Who won? Who won the MVP? And I'm having a brain fart, but whatever, let's continue. Anthony Rendon, this was his breakout season, and obviously, like, everyone's opinion on him is he's gone under the radar. I know he's had a really good season, but compared to Steven Strasburg, he's been, time and time again, really good, elite pitcher for the Nationals. And like I said, that's hard to come by. But Anthony Rendon, pitchers compared to hitters are much more, I think, stable and stay around longer than pitchers. Pitchers, for a lot of them, they get injured, and they're not the same that they used to be at the beginning of their contracts. But I still think you go after Steven Strasburg because he's proven every year to be elite and be a pitcher that makes a significant difference for the Nationals. And Anthony Rendon, he's always flown under the radar, but this was his real breakout season, and you don't really want to, I feel like paying 7 years, $260 million when you can also sign Steven Strasburg is too much for a player that could have just had an outstanding season in the rest of his career. It'll just be pretty good. So that's one way to go about it. The other way is to just not sign either, which for me as a Met fan, I hope they do. But let me take Met fanness out of this. I think just you go after a rebuild again and leave Anthony Rendon and Steven Strasburg gone. Obviously, at a certain point, you have to lose players when they get to a certain stage of their career where they make a lot of money, and you can't really do anything about that, and they're kind of put in that situation where if they don't have Anthony Rendon and Steven Strasburg, who do they really have? They have Trey Turner. They do have Juan Soto, which I did forget about. And the other one what's his name? I don't remember his name. So they do have some young pieces, and they still do have something to play with, but I mean, Juan Soto had a really good season. So, or like this other example, just completely cut Anthony Rendon and Steven Strasburg and focus on the young players. If I was the Nationals GM, I'd go after the first option, which isn't rebuilding again. You just won a World Series, so why not go after it again? You have all these players playing at really good levels, and you can compete next season if you have Steven Strasburg or Anthony Rendon. And let me just conclude this, I'd say if I'm the Nationals GM, you sign Steven Strasburg and don't start another rebuild, or maybe like a medium rebuild. You go after it again. It's hard to get a team that can win a World Series, and if you sign Anthony Rendon / Steven Strasburg, you immensely increase that chance. But if you let both of them walk, you're kind of back to an average team. And I think you let Anthony Rendon walk just because he's a kind of like a risk. Both of them are risks. Steven Strasburg could get injured at any point, but Anthony Rendon he's never had this type of season, and this type of season is allowing him to ask for so much money. So I think if you play the field right, you sign Steven Strasburg and you go after another World Series, which I hope they don't do, but from an unbiased point of view, I think that's what they should do. So that's it. Thanks for watching. Tell me if the beginning was too awkward for your viewing. Trying something new. I don't know. Want to show a little bit more of my personality on these things. So let me know what you think. Thanks for watching. See you next time.